This week in the podcast for new all-age comic books for the week of November 4th, you've got Disney Pixar for you librarians, Batman, Wonder Woman, Spider-Man, Goosebumps, and more. Thanks for checking out the podcast this week. It's November 4th, 2020. Yay, Election Day has passed us. Yay. I think that's one reason I'm so mellow this week, because I'm just so darn tired of these ads. I just want life to get back to normal. Is that so much to ask? It's not. There is still a new comic book day this Wednesday, and in that lot, there are a couple great new all-age comic books. We've got a couple of them here, but it's not, if it's your first time checking out the podcast, you're saying, wow, there aren't many comic books. Well, you're correct. It's a very light week. Very light. There are still some cool ones for many ages of readers. We're going to start it off with this one. It's Disney Pixar, The Incredibles. Now, this is an expensive book, but it is more well-constructed than the other books that we're going to process because this is a library edition. So, yeah, they make books for every buyer, and this is one of those durable, well-built books that's going to have the really thick spine, and it's meant for libraries. So if you're looking at the list, you say, I'm not paying $40 for a book. Well, I wouldn't either, so don't. But if you're a library, this is where you go, and that answers one of the questions that some of our kids have. They said, well, where do libraries get their books from? They get them from the same source. Like, this is from Dark Horse. It's just produced a little thicker. Disney Pixar The Incredibles 2 Library Edition out this week. Now, on with the consumer-grade product. Are you familiar with Stone Arch Books? Maybe Capstone Publishing? If you have an elementary school reader, this is one of those great imprints and publishers that really hammers home certain categories and certain heroes really well. Like Capstone does the DC heroes very well, and this week has 3 of their releases out there brand new. We've got Wonder Woman, one of her, Wonder Woman and the Cherry Cheetah? Cherry Cheetah. Sounds like a Mexican dish I had one time. It was horrible. It gave me gas. Wonder Woman and the Cheetah Challenge. That's the one. And this is, again, from Stone Arch Books. It's going to be great for those I'll call them elementary school readers who need a little bit of help. There's going to be some reading there, but the art is going to be so on point that it's going to entertain those middle elementary school readers and up. It's Wonder Woman and the Cheetah Challenge. Cyborg not missing out on the action. DC Superheroes Origins has Cyborg. This is also from Stone Arch Publishing. And lastly, it's Batman. Classic Batman never goes out of style, and Stone Arch does a great job with some of his properties. Batman and the Missing Punchline. This has a little more reading. They call it a young adult. You know what? I'm going to say upper elementary, even middle elementary school and up. If you've got a reluctant reader who likes superheroes and you want to get them into more reading as opposed to comic books, in my definition, there is no difference. But if you're one of those people who think that, that's cool. This is the vehicle to get you there. It's Stone Arch Publishing, Batman and the Missing Punchline. I think it'll do the trick. And while you're out there in internet land, check out Capstone's website because they really have some great stuff on there. We've had a couple of their board books that are in our forever library, and they are here, and they're not going anywhere. Now, one of the publishers on a comic book level that really does great stuff for the action set, for the superhero set, and the science fiction-minded people, it's IDW Publishing. And they do the Marvel Action series that they team up with Marvel Comics. Fabulous stuff. They also do this one. They do Goosebumps, and this is a mini-series. This is the second printing, so it's always a good thing when an all-age comic book has a second printing, because that lets you know that, okay, some people got in on the ground floor. Sounds like an investment opportunity, but it's not. They got in on the first printing, and they said, you know what, this is so awesome, we're going to buy all of them, and more people want them. Check it out. This is the second printing, Secrets of the Swamp. That's what it is. Goosebumps, Secrets of the Swamp, issue 1 of 5 is being reprinted this week. Who is going to like this? If you're down with Marvel Action from IDW Publishing, you'll like it. If you don't know what that is, here's the skinny. Middle elementary school and up. This is going to present those age-appropriate scares, because that age being the 9 10-year-old kids and up. Maybe they want to read about something that's scary, but nothing that's really kind of too scary. This is your vehicle. Goosebumps, Secrets of the Swamp, issue 1, second printing. Spidey. Wow. There are 2 Spider-Man books out this week. And Spider-Man, our 11-year-old loves Spider-Man. He was the first real superhero that our oldest child, latched onto. And I think just because Spidey is at his heart, it's a kid's comic book, but some of it is done so well that it crosses over to where I enjoy it, and I read it all the time too. Case in point, we buy it every time it comes out. Hey, look, here's issue 51. Issue 51. Now, this is where it gets confusing, and I don't know how they do this, but there's a storyline that's going on where this is issue number 51.LR. I have no idea what it means, but it's like a separate spin-off story that just kind of goes in between the episodes, in between the issues. We're going to buy it because it's awesome, and our 11-year-old will read it. Amazing Spider-Man number 51.LR. Marvel Comics, I have no idea what you mean, but shut up and take my money because we like it, and our 11-year-old does too. Also, Miles Morales. This is, again, a second printing of issue 20. I think it is. Second printing? Nope. First printing. I sound mistaken. Issue 20 of Miles Morales. This is great because this is apparently it's a really popular and very engaging storyline that Miles has going on, and we can't afford all the Spider-Man titles. So we just stick to Amazing Spider-Man. But if Miles Morales is your Spidey, then you should be aware that issue 20 is out this week. And if you're not down with Miles Morales, you may want to be in the loop on the fact that this is apparently a really engaging storyline called the Ultraman Saga. I have no idea what's happening there, but I've heard it's great. And I think I may just give it a shot again for the 11-year-old to see if they dig it. Now, left of center. We love left of center titles that may slide just below radar. I mean, you know, the Supermans, the Batmans. We're not really going to cover them here. But if you have a kid, a middle school child or older, that likes science fiction, robots, and monsters, who doesn't? I'm not in middle school, but I love them all. Ultraman, The Rise of Ultraman. It's a miniseries from Marvel Comics. I like this miniseries because it's got some retro memories for me as a kid. But it's also contemporized, the story is great, and the art is really beautiful. It's Rise of Ultraman. It does have a lot of reading, so if you're not a reader and you're in elementary school, this probably won't be your jam. Plus, it's very niche-y, and again, it's left of center, so it's not really going to fly mainstream. But if you're looking for a science fiction series that's going to fly just below radar, check it out. It's Rise of Ultraman, plus it's a miniseries. It'll only be around for 2 more issues. Then you can pick up the collected graphic novel and be way cooler than your friends. And that's it. There are a couple more, but you can check out all the all-age comic books for this week in the website. And if there's anything you're reading, please leave it in the comments, and we'll respond accordingly. And next week, we have it on good authority that the list of all-age comics will be much longer. Thanks.